TF likes to dress the cats up. He makes them little tinfoil hats, and I make accessories for them out of popsicle sticks and hot glue, sometimes glitter.
I thought we were trying to be honest with our show.
Clear!
Hello, and welcome to episode number 9 of Trish and TF, Plain and Simple.
When we started our video series, we had planned to just share the fun parts of our lives and the things that bring us joy, and hope that we inspire other people to do things that bring them joy. And one of the things that we most have fun with is our little furry guys. For us, they alleviate boredom, and sometimes it's a little bit of a tension breaker, and it's a nice distraction. Most of the time, traveling with pets is relatively easy. We find that cats get along best when we have two. We don't like a single, and when we have more than two, then that gets to be kind of stinky and expensive. It's nice to go through life with a partner and have somebody that you love and trust, that can share in your shenanigans, that looks like you, that's your own kind.
Yeah, somebody that will lick the parts of you that you can't reach.
Gross.
It's a metaphor. Okay.
They have complementary skill sets.
Yes.
Like us.
We never wanted our video series to be a how-to about how to be an RV person, or how to have a good marriage,
Or how to dump a black tank, or even how to make apple crisp. But when we find something that's fun for us, that gives us joy, and we think that it might bring our friends some happiness, then we share those aspects of our life.
So, here are 5 tips.
Nope.
Here are some tips for how to travel with cats in an RV.
The first question that everybody who is new to RVing with cats likes to ask is, where do you keep the litter box? We have to have a litter box, but I don't mind it, because if we are actually working and we have to be gone on a project for 8 or 10 hours, I'm not worried that someone is going to make a mess inside my coach. Quite a few RV people do put their litter box in the shower or in the bathroom, but that's a mess, and I don't want grit on my feet, and I don't want it all tracked through the coach where we're actually living. So one of the best parts of the one that we selected was that it had a laundry chute, and it's next to the bedroom, and it has a little hatch that opens up. So we just leave that open, and the cats can go down and use their litter box. And we have a little grabber mat outside the litter box that takes the sand off their feet, so they're clean when they come up.
One of the best things about using the laundry chute as the location for the litter box is access.
Now, the key to success, if you want to holster your cat and get him in the carrier, is lay everything you need out before you let the cat know what's going on. So I've got our harness and I've got our travel bag. Now I just need the cat. This is Hampton, and he is usually the less cooperative of the two. So for a realistic experience, I thought I would grab him to demonstrate. I think it's important to talk to them first and reassure them it's okay. You're going to be excited, so they're going to feed off that. And if you're nervous, they're going to want to get away. I just talk to him, and I tell him about where we're going to go, and slide his harness on him. It has a tag on it, so if he gets out, he can be found And because our cats are identical, we can tell them apart, but most people can't. For easy identification, Hampton wears blue and Mike wears red. Then I just pick him up and I slide him into the top of his carrier like this. And there's also a tether. This is a good idea if you have an escape artist to make sure that they're tethered to the inside of their carrier. Then I just put them in like this. And we zip it closed, and away we go. On a travel day, this is what our setup looks like. Hampton rides back here in his carrier, and we have the litter box, the mat, and food and water. He's tethered in because he's an escape artist, and we can't trust him. It's also a good idea to tether your cat in case you're in an accident. You don't want them to become a projectile or get lost. Most carriers, you're able to hook the seat belt through them. Now our friend Mike likes to ride in the front. We let each of the boys choose where they wanted to be, and then we put their carriers there. And we found that acquiescing to their demands, requests, makes it a lot more pleasant trip for all of us. Mike is very trustworthy, so once we are in the truck and on our way, we open his hatch and he will oftentimes pop up and look around. But sometimes he just sleeps. Whether or not your cat is leash trained, I do recommend keeping a retractable leash for each of them on hand. You never know when somebody is going to lose his mind and tear out of his mesh carrier. And you might need to transport them from your truck into a hotel or into the coach, and you want to make sure you have a good grip on them. Snap that on him, and we're ready to go. A lot of people think that you cannot teach a cat to walk on a leash, but you can. It just takes a lot of patience, and you have to understand what it is they're naturally inclined to do and then capitalize on it and reward it when it coincides with what you want them to do. Figure out what your guys are into and what motivates them, and then make sure that you do reward good behavior. Before we left, we had our vet chip them, and it's really important to send in your paperwork because just having them chipped won't help you get them back. There's no way to trace the chip unless you file the paperwork, so you have to send in your tab with the barcode and put an address and a phone number so that if your pet is found, they know where to contact you. We also put harnesses on the boys, and those have a "I'm lost, call my mom" tag with our phone number. And like any good pet owners, we have lots and lots of current pictures of them, and we can identify special markings on each of them.
2 years ago, we committed to becoming debt-free. 4.5 months ago, we sold our home and are now committed to living our lives as simply as possible. Join us each week as we explore our world, plain and simple.